There we go. Okay, we're ready to get started. We're probably 30 seconds early, but we're good to go. So praise God, hallelujah, for people getting power. So I think that Janet, you finally got power, which is awesome. Some of the people just got powered up in the last couple of days, including us, which is pretty fantastic. But we're obviously very, very excited to kick this meeting off today. I'm Greg, and this is my beautiful wife, Minna.
Hi.
Warm beer. It's for her. It's a Vitali warm beer, which is awesome. We just heard there's a Vitali on the way, which is very, very cool. But very, very awesome to share this amazing technology with today. And my wife kind of kick it off because we've got a phenomenal presenter today that is going to rock this meeting. So again, if you want to do some housekeeping.
So thank you for being on. Those asking for power and water to be restored, we are praying for you. But we're grateful to God that He brought us through the storm. So just some housekeeping. Everybody stays on mute because we want to get through the presentation. And if you need to unmute because you're doing a testimony, we will ask you to do so. Please put your questions in the chat. And then if you've invited someone to be on here and you see they're here, please let us know in the chat who your guest is. And the important thing is to follow up. So after this meeting, you want to give them a call and find out if they have any questions, and if there's anything that we can help you with, we are happy to help you with that as well. But thank you for being on. Please message anybody on your team or some guests that you do not see on. But we're gonna move through this pretty quickly. Thanks again for being on. Okay.
Yes, so I want to introduce to you a good friend of mine, and that's the best part. He's a business partner down in the Miami, obviously out of South Africa, and here he came in at the highest level, and he's going to talk more about that. But again, he has been crushing this business. He's a director in the business, soon to be senior director, which is pretty amazing. But the most important part, I want you to hear from Gary because he's got a lot of great things to share. He's going to be talking about part of the meeting, about the product and testimonials, and then we're going to kind of talk a little bit more about the opportunity. So I will hand it off to you, Mr. Gary Burke.
Thank you very much, Greg. And then, can you hear me okay? Okay, awesome. I am so excited to be here today. I'm excited to have been invited to introduce or to present today. This is beyond wow. This is beyond my wildest dream. I believe Greg and Minna was brought into my life by God. I just think that through Brendan in South Africa, Johannesburg, and I'll tell you how that happened shortly. It's kind of amazing in and of itself. But whoever invited you today, they care a lot about you. They care about you. They're really concerned about you. That's why you're here. This is not a hoopla. This is not some type of horse and pony show. This is real. This is awesome. Let me go back to tell you how I started in LifeWave. It's been since May. I've been involved. I met Brendan, as Greg said. We were on an opportunity site. It was, and I didn't know he was in South Africa. He didn't know I was in Miami, Florida. We started talking, and then he asked, "What did I do?" I told him. I asked, "What did he do?" He told me about LifeWave. I was totally shocked. I had never heard of it, and I said, "Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait. Are you telling me that this opportunity can help people health-wise and wealth-wise?" He said, "Sure." I said, "Sign me up right now." I went and got my credit card, and I didn't listen. This man is in South Africa. He's in Johannesburg, and that I don't know this guy, but I trusted him enough to get my credit card and sign up for this opportunity. And ever since then, it's been a blessing. So without any further ado, I want to get started with this slide presentation, and I'm going to turn it back over to my mentors, who are Greg and Minna. And again, Greg and Minna, thank you again for asking me to do this. I'm so honored. With that being said, we can start off with the presentation. Thank you all for coming today.
Awesome. So Gary, if you want to, I think if you downloaded, yeah, what?
Did you tell them Gary's?
Yes, she's listening. Yes, so Gary is the director. I told her that. Yes, she's doing admin stuff over here on the side. If you want to share your screen, I gave you actually the co-host. So if you want to share your screen, if you've got the presentation up, and you can start at the first slide there. And hopefully that's something we didn't coordinate ahead of time. I think you do that. There you go. And then just get the slideshow going, hit play, and then you can go through. And then once you get to the part where it has the different words on there, specifically freedom, something like that, we'll take it from there. So awesome.
Awesome. Great. So the question I have for you today is, have you been patched yet? That's the biggest question. If you're here, you should have been patched. If you aren't patched, get patched. Okay? That's all I can tell you. Get patched and we'll have a different conversation. All right? The next thing, this is our scientist, and he's the inventor, the CEO of this company, this great company called LifeWave, David Schmidt. This gentleman has over 150 patents. I know it says 130 there, but he has over 150 patents. Now, I don't know if you know what goes into the patenting process, but from what I can understand, and Mena is an attorney, she knows for a fact that this is a lengthy process to get a patent going. And one thing about it, the product must do what it says it's going to do if it's going to be patented. Now, he is specialized in age reversing. In 2008, David focused his attention on stem cell research. And this particular patent, the X39, took 10 years to come to fruition and $4.5 million to bring it to the market. And I don't want to rush with this, but I just want to make sure I cover all the areas because Greg and Lynn is going to go into the even more important part of this. Now, this is the patent right here. It says a patented technology. You can always pull this patent, which I did. I actually went a step further and pulled the patent myself, and I printed this patent out because I wanted to read through it. So, hey, it's available for any one of you that want to do that. And what it says down here, embodiments as a result of elevating copper peptide, including activation of stem cells, improvements in energy, elevation of antioxidants. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm quite sure some of you on here can attest to the fact that some of that, what you just read in that patent, it comes from you, what you've experienced with this patch as well. Now let's talk about why X39 stem cell activation patch. The fewer stem cells you have, the faster you age and the slower you heal. Now I don't know if any of you knew about this. I never heard about it until I was introduced to this. But by the age of 30, half of our stem cells are inactive. In other words, they're dormant. I knew nothing about this. Well, I'm a long ways from 30. So at the age of 60, you lose almost all stem cell activity. Now, I want you to think about that. How many of you have ever gone to your doctor or anyone and they've told you this? I knew nothing about this. This floored me. So once I knew that this X39 stem cell patch is going to activate my dormant stem cells, I was all in. I was all in. There was no other questions about it. And it says here also, hundreds of millions of people are experiencing symptoms of aging. Listen, people, we're all getting older every day. We're not going backwards, we're going forward in age. So we need something that's going to help us in this aging process. And X39 is that something that can help you in the aging process. Now let's talk about how it works. It's a proprietary form of phototherapy, patented nanocrystal technology. It reflects light to activate, non-transdermal, no drugs or stimulants, and it's non-invasive. Now, I want to take a moment and say this because I have a gentleman, he's on the line, but I won't call his name out. It's a friend of mine. But it was so funny. I didn't understand this, and I didn't know this. When I initially brought this to him, he could not process this whole stem cell situation. He thought that this patch had embryo stem cells, and it immediately turned him off. And when I understood where he was coming from, I said, no. It has no stem cells in it. There's no medication. It's non-transdermal. And he was like, oh my God, I thought it had stem cells in it. So let's be very clear when we explain this to everybody. There are no stem cells in this patch. There's no medication in this patch. And it's non-transdermal and non-invasive. Okay, invasive, should I say. So let's make sure we explain it to all of our those who want to try the X39 and those who want to be brand partners. The benefits: increased strength, mental clarity, reduced inflammation, restored musculoskeletal condition, increased stamina, improvement of sleep. Let me talk about improvement of sleep for a minute because this is funny. I hadn't dreamt in years. As a matter of fact, I can't tell you the last time I dreamt. And I started using this patch, and I started dreaming again, which means that I started sleeping again. I started sleeping better. And I called a friend of mine who I had already told I don't dream. I had already told him that. And I called him. I was so ecstatic. I said, listen, I had a dream last night. He said, what? I said, I dreamt last night. I haven't dreamt in many, many years. So that to me was enough to say that this patch does what it says it does. So it helped me sleep better at night. Now I'm dreaming again. Increased strength, energy and vitality, improved skin appearance. These are just a few of the things that can happen to you once you start using the X39 patch. And I love when Nana reads this part. She does it so eloquently. At the bottom here, it says, LifeWave products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. So we must say that, but I beg to differ. I'll continue on. I'll continue on, okay? So achieve optimal health, a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. Let's talk about some of the results. This particular topography that you're looking at is that of a 77-year-old woman's brain. When she initially came in to do this particular study, if you look at session one, her brain was full of reds and yellows. What that indicates is inflammation. And that's just not just this 77-year-old's brain, but I believe that's a lot of us, right? She was just brave enough to have a topography. Some of us aren't that brave. So from session one to session two, which were 3 weeks later, or being on the X39 patch, you can see the difference. Now you see no more reds. Now you see blues, greens, and some yellows. This was only after 3 weeks of being on X39. And now you look at session three, which was 6 weeks after being on the patch. Look at the brain now. The brain is now a complete turnaround, better brain coherence. The brain has now been calmed. So if you read at the bottom, it says, it can be noted that when she came in, her brain was hyperactive. Her brain calmed down dramatically at the second visit after wearing the X39 patch. Her brain remained calm after wearing the patch for 6 weeks. So this is only one of those things that are happening when you start using the X39 patch. Okay, let's go to the next one. What are some of the long-term results? This was another strange one for me. Again, me being new 5 months ago, I had no knowledge of this. First few days, over 4,000 genes begin to reset. I don't know if you could comprehend that. 4,000 genes in your body begin to reset. Now, some people that who've been on the patch, some of my friends and family members, they have said that they've gone through some type of cleansing to where the body is going through a detoxing. And sometimes I think that's what the patch is helping the body do as well. As is resetting those genes, the body's starting to reset and things are starting to happen. Within 6 weeks, the brain becomes balanced. Within 3 weeks, your collagen increases. I know a lot of women are into the whole collagen thing. A lot of us men aren't, right? I could have cared less about collagen. I promise you. I had no idea about it. I was like, whatever. But when I saw this and I saw that the brain becomes balanced, I don't know about you, but I need a little balancing, right? I need a little balancing. Sometimes I get a little bit off beat there, but the brain becomes balanced, and within 6 months, the heart reverses in age. Is that not amazing? Within 6 months, the heart reverses in age. If that's not enough to get anybody on here excited, I don't know what is. It's not anti-aging, it's age reversing. That's what David Schmidt, the CEO and inventor of X39, says. How to wear it. Now, when they did the particular studies on the patch, they had it either at the C7, the back of the neck, or below the belly button. Those were the two areas where the studies took place. But what we found out is that you could put this patch anywhere on your body and it's going to work. It's going to wake up those dormant stem cells. Some people wear it on their hands if they're having carpal tunnel problems. Some people wear it on their chest. Wherever you wear it, the patch will go to work. You wear the patches 12 hours on, and then you discard the patch after 12 hours and let the body do what the body does. The body was designed to heal. So after the patch does what it does, after 12 hours, remove the patch. It's a disposable patch, so do not wear it again. Throw that patch away. Now, what I've heard, there are some people who put the patch on their pets. I've heard that people put the patch on their dogs or their cats. I don't know. I don't have a pet. But if that's what you desire to do, please do so. You put the new patch on the next day, wash, rinse, and repeat. Wash, rinse, and repeat. Use the patch. It's disposable. Take it off, throw it away. You can wear more than one patch at one time. There are some people who may be wearing the X39, the X49, the whatever it might be. They may be wearing several patches. It's not necessary. You don't have to do that. But if you desire to do it, that's fine as well. But one patch will do the trick. And the last thing, drink plenty of water. I'm not endorsing this water brand, so I'll turn it around. Drink plenty of water, people. Drink plenty of water all day. Make sure you keep yourselves hydrated. Okay? X39 is so sophisticated yet so simple to explain. There are so many testimonies of X39. There are so many testimonies about the X39. And I have two people, two of my guests, two of which are their brand partners. I would love for them to come on and give their testimonies. I have, first and foremost, my sister, who's a brand partner. Her name is Shamika Davis. I would love for her to give her testimony. Shamika, where are you? Shamika, are you there?
Hi, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead, Shamika. It's on you.
Hi. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. My testimony is concerning my 6-year-old son. He's diagnosed with autism. He's on the spectrum. He also has ADHD. He also has ODD. He has a lot of issues. I adopted him at 19 months old. He's been with me from 2 days old because I was a foster parent. And when he started school, he started with behavior issues. He couldn't sit for long periods of time. He couldn't focus. It was affecting him learning and retaining information and getting far in school. My brother came to my grandmother's house and was like, I need you to try this. This is X39. It helps. It can also help children with disabilities. And I was like, okay, I'll try it. So since one more thing, he also has seizure disorder. So it's a lot of medical appointments, a lot of back and forth to specialists that I've been going through with my son. And this has been a journey for like the last maybe 3.5 years. Even when I travel, I have to take people, with me to travel to help me with him. Um, so I started him on the X39 patch since May, the ending of May. I first noticed a great improvement with him and his becoming calm. He has an RBT in school, so when he went back to school, he started, he's able to write, he's able to learn. Mom, I learned this. And I was like, wow. And the only change I made with him is the X39. Um, I went to open house this year, beginning of the year, and the principal came to the classroom and he was like, Miss Davis, what did you do? What did you do? He's like a different child. He's learning. He's not crying. He's not acting out. His behavior is awesome. Like, what did you do? And I was like, well, let me tell you about the X39. This is what I did. It's the only different thing I did with him. And it's been a blessing to my family. It's the change in him. Now he's coming to me, Mom, you got to put my patch on. You forgot to put my patch on. I'm like, that's right, baby. I forgot to patch you. But it's been awesome. The change that I was during the visit, how calm he is. I haven't had one seizure since I started the X39 with him. And he was having it like every month. I was going back and forth to the emergency room with the seizure disorder that he has. So the X39 has made a great change in my son's life. Also with my life, I suffer from AFib. I patch myself. I haven't had an episode of AFib since I started the X39. So it's truly been a blessing. And I will tell anybody, and I'm gonna keep telling everybody about the X39. It's a difference in you for listening.
Thank you. Thank you, Shanika. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Now, that's another testimony that should get you fired up and let you know that this X39 is wonderful. It's awesome. It's God sent. It's actually God sent. I believe it's God sent. I have another gentleman on here. I have a gentleman, should I say. He is a brand partner as well. I'm excited to have him give his testimony. And he's actually a medical doctor. Yet, that's right, folks. We were able to get a medical doctor to try the patch. And now he's a brand partner. He's by way of AJ Donaldson, who's also a brand partner. He's not on right now. But Dr. Judah Cloak, if you would please unmute yourself and give your testimony.
Hey, how you doing?
Great, Doc. Thank you.
Thanks, Gary. So, yeah, a quick testimony. Funny, I was introduced to the patch, I would say, maybe 3 months prior to actually joining. Maybe actually, no, I'm lying. A little bit longer than that. Probably 5 months or so. And randomly, AJ Donaldson through another group ended up in my office, and we're just talking about things. And then he said something X39 patch, and I was like, oh, that's weird that you mentioned that. And it's like it came across my radar several months before, and through talking, I realized this is an opportunity that I kind of let slip through my fingers, or kind of forgot about. I just opened an office a little bit over a year ago, so been dealing with a lot of other things. One of which was stress, and so with the stress that I was experiencing within 3 months of opening the office, I noticed that behind my right ear. I didn't notice. My barber noticed it. I went in for a haircut, and she was like, "What's going on back here?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know what you're talking about." And I turned and looked, and I was like, "Oh, wow!" There was like, I mean, maybe a silver dollar size bald spot. And I reached back there, smooth, like baby skin, nothing there. I'm just like, okay, well, that's weird. And it didn't take me long to realize, what, this is stress related. And so I started talking to some friends, and they were like, "Oh, let's get you on some meds, let's get you on some steroids, this and that and the other." And I'm like, "Man, I don't want to do this. I'm not sure how I'm going to take care of this." So I did 5 months of putting on different oils and tinctures and things like that. And the best that it did was give me a little bit of fuzzy baby hairs kind of in the area, but was just bald as can be. And like every couple of weeks, asking the barber, "Does it look better?" She's like, "It looks the same. It might be getting worse." And I don't know how that wasn't stressing me out more. But about 5 months in, I connected with these guys, and I got some patches from Gary, and I just started patching just every day. And I'm not exaggerating. It was 9 days in when I reached in the back of my head, and I turned and looked, and I was like, "I swear this is filling in." And I had somebody take some pictures for me, and sure enough, I had some coarse black hairs growing in after 9 days patching, and now it's fully grown in. You can't even tell that there was any missing hair there. And so uh, I don't know what other things it's doing for me. This is one of those things. It's like inside out. It has so much potential to do so much for you, but the main thing is to make sure that you stay consistent and you give it, that fighter's chance. And I'm talking minimum 3 months, but probably closer to 6 months to really see a difference in what it's doing for yourself and your life. And so I just had surgery last Monday for a tendon injury in my knee. And as soon as I got all the bandages off, I just started patching that. So the patch is on my knee right now, and just seeing how it can help to accelerate my healing process going forward. So that's my testimony. I have family members that are going through some big things. The biggest one is energy. I have an aunt who told me that when she didn't wear it one day after wearing it for a solid 2 to 4 weeks, she didn't wear it one day, and she's like, "I don't know what's wrong with me. I feel bad. I feel off." And my dad was like, "Did you put your patch on today?" And she's like, "Oh, I didn't put my patch on." So now she's like, she doesn't want to wake up and not put it on because she just felt so bad. So it's doing things for everyone, and it's different for everybody.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Shamika, as well, giving your testimonies. And again, folks, for the testimonies that Shamika and the doctors gave, again, if that's not enough to make you want to really get on this patch, if it's just for your health, which it is, for your health, do it. Don't think about it, just do it. You've tried medications, you've tried steroids, you tried this, that, and the other. Try X39. Try the patch, and I guarantee you won't be disappointed. All right, thanks again, everybody, for that. Let's go on.
Actually, hey, Gary, we do have one other person that's on that we wanted to share just for a
I'm
second
sorry.
too. So, man, if you want to introduce
Yes.
her real quick, because she's on today. We're not sure if she's available next week, so we want to make sure she gets on there as well.
So Kira, who is out of Johannesburg, and she's registered or sponsored into the business by Yolandi, who's a personal of ours. So Kira, if you want to unmute and just share really how your list of things that the patch is helping you with.
Hi there. Yeah, I have unmuted, so I hope everyone can hear me. Thank you for the opportunity. I must be honest, listening to the previous testimonials, I feel a little bit like the underdog here, but But I must be honest as well that people have told me in the past week or two that I sound like a typical salesperson because I'm so excited about this product that I can't stop talking about it. In my life, it has made a tremendous difference. And I'm not sure if any of you guys are familiar with a disease called fibromyalgia, but it is an autoimmune disease. And basically, what it does is it causes you to be in constant pain. The pain tends to move around. Sometimes it's in your joints, sometimes it's back, sometimes it's just excruciating headaches. I used to suffer from very bad migraines as well. And it's basically due to inflammation all over your body and your body sending different weird, unrelated signals of pain that it's not supposed to. So it's about the firing of your synapses and all that. I'm not a medical professional, but that's how I understand it. So I was living in constant pain. I was living with constant fatigue. I slept through entire weekends, and I'm not joking. You can ask my partner. It was no weird thing for me to sleep through an entire weekend, like someone who had a very, very bad hangover. And I promise you, I don't drink. I had brain fog. Now, that means I couldn't really focus half the time. It causes memory issues. I'm a teacher, so that also caused me to sometimes not find the words that I wanted to be able to actually articulate myself to my students. And also, I'm a drama teacher, which meant that I couldn't move the way I wanted to in order to show my students how to move. And that is a big thing. The worst thing that started happening was eventually, and I think that was also due to stress, I started very quickly dropping things. Like I would drop my cell phone 5 times a day and it wouldn't be fun. So my doctor eventually was a little bit desperate. He sent me to a specialist physician who did brain scans and whatever. And basically it boiled down to you have to cut down on your stress because this is your fibromyalgia talking to you. I started using the patch exactly 5 weeks ago today. And within the first week, the brain fog had lifted. I had tremendous energy. And I could immediately see this is changing my way of relating to the world. It's something that you can't explain to someone if they haven't actually felt chronic fatigue, chronic pain, and brain fog. Brain fog is something I wish on nobody. Sometimes it feels like you're literally going into early onset Alzheimer's. You can't remember things. You literally can't articulate yourself. You feel stupid, to be honest, because you sound like you don't know what you're talking about half the time because you can't find the words to just express yourself. And that had lifted within the first week, which to me was no joke. It was amazing. What I've seen since, my depression has lifted tremendously because I'm no longer in so much pain. My pain levels immediately started decreasing. And I can happily say that as of last Friday, it's Monday here where we are, as of Friday morning, I have literally been pain-free for the first time in, I cannot tell you how long. I have not had a migraine in the past month. I am ecstatic. So the people around me must just excuse my babbling, but I'm not going to stop talking about this product because if it changes my life to this extent, I can just imagine how many people out there can benefit from it. And that's my story. And hopefully it's an ongoing, well, it is an ongoing journey. I believe that the best is yet to come. I'm absolutely ecstatic about this.
Wow, wow, wow.
So thank you for asking me to share with you.
You're welcome, Kira. And that is such a blessing. Thank you for sharing with us. And in all honesty, the testimonies today have just blown us away.
It's amazing.
Thank you.
And they're not uncommon. That's awesome. So back to you, Gary. That's awesome.
Thank you, Gary.
Okay, thank you, Kara, for sharing. That was awesome. Listen, I always tell my team members, we have what the world needs. We have what the world needs if they only open their eyes and they only realize that we're not salespeople. We are people just testifying of the greatness of God first and what he has done through this patch. That's what we're doing. We're not trying to call up anything. We're trying to help people. If they can only realize that, this would be a better world. Thank you all for your testimonies, and let's move forward. I want to give this book back over to Greg and Minna shortly. Now, thisisitinfo.com is where you would go. This page has so much information. It's unreal. So much information. Don't get into the game of trying to explain everything. That's not your position. That's not your calling. This is it. Info has everything you need to tell anyone about this product. Tell them to watch the first two videos. At a minimum, watch the first two videos. Those two videos are going to tell them about the patch, the technology, and the inventor himself. That's what they need to know about the patch. I told you all earlier, when Brendan in South Africa told me about this, I went and got my credit card immediately and told him, sign me up for the highest level. I have to tell the world. My sister's on here, she's gonna laugh about this. When I got my pack, my 19 packages of X39, I went to my grandmother's house. I didn't know any better. Don't do this. Do not do this, people. Don't do like I did. I went to handing out packages like they were candy. I was like, you get a patch, you get a sleeve, you get a sleeve, you get a sleeve. Everybody gets a sleeve, right? But at the end of the day, I was just excited. I wanted to help my family. I wanted to help my friends. Some of them became brand partners. So it wasn't for naught. It wasn't for nothing. So it did help a lot of people. So if you want to do like I did and hand out sleeves, fine, but be a little bit more, intentional about what you do, okay? Let's move forward. Okay, LifeWay, the company's growth. In 2023, just to let you know, this is a 20-year-old company. This company is 20 years old this month. It's as David Schmidt and you know, Steve and Gina Merritt, as they say, this is a 20-year-old startup company. Started 20 years ago, went from a $20 million a year company to 2021, and then in 2021, it went to 320 million. In 2021, it went from 20 million. In 2022, it went to 320 million. And in 2020, $500 million already in sales this year. We're open in over 80 countries now. I know it says 75. Some of the slides may need to be updated, but it's open in over 80 countries as we speak now, okay? So if you have somebody in Australia, have somebody in Poland, you have somebody, wherever you have them, LifeWave is more than likely there. It's not a me-too product, which means that it's not a lotion, a potion, a vitamin, or anything. Nobody, I don't even think about bringing that to show it to you, but nobody has this patch but us. So guess what? In order to get it, you have to come through one of the brand partners, okay? This talks about the momentum. LifeWave is now ranked the #1 in momentum company in the whole world of direct selling, network marketing. We are the #1 company. And guess what? As you see this logo behind me, the This Is It team is the #1 team in LifeWave. So you are in the right place at the right time to get into a company that is #1 all the way around. Greg and Minna, you guys are awesome. Love you guys. Before I turn it over to you, thank you, team, that has joined me, my personal team. I've got a lot of folks on here. Thank you guys for coming out to support. And with that, I will turn this back over to Greg and Minna. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you.
That is awesome, Gary.
Wow.
You are amazing. And again, thank you. Obviously got Shamika, Dr. Jude, and Kira, the amazing testimonies. It's absolutely phenomenal. And we could spend hours just sharing, just the testimonials alone. But the greatest part about this is that when we do talk to people about this, is that we want to make sure that people understand this is just not for us. This is to share with them. Very, very true. That was a great quote. I am going to be using that. And I'm going to go and share my screen now and basically just go into our slides here so you can stop sharing that. So there we go. So the great part about this more than anything else is that when we talk to people, about this is that the opportunity itself is huge. And this is something that, again, there's nothing like this product in the world. And again, for me, there's certain words that are on the screen here that you might go, okay, well, I relate to some of those. And I can interview each of you. I could take my good friend Gerardo, who's on here, and a bunch of other people, and Carlos, and say, hey, what is it that, what words mean the most to you? And really the number one word for me is family. That's the number one thing for us, is that we love, obviously spending time with our family. My wife being from South Africa, we spend more time in South Africa now because of our family in South Africa, which is amazing. We love the idea of spending time together. But the number one word for me 2 years ago was freedom. Because for me, I was working a job that literally was not something that I really was enjoying at that time. The company that basically became more of a mentorship program, become a tour mentorship. That's the way I can explain it. But it's true. They use a company, a software program called Salesforce, kind of against us. Okay, they checked everything we're doing, how many activities we did and everything else. And they had a certain, minimum standard that you'd meet every single day, or they just barked at you, and it just wasn't good. Well, so for me, I said, when I came across this, and for me, my life changed 3 days later. I had no more neck pain, shoulder pain, neck pain. The world is this. And after a while, I'm like, this is it. This is it. We're going to change people's lives. And I'm like, could this be a way for me to get freedom? And literally within 14 months, I was able to replace my six-figure income with a six-figure residual income. Literally several months later, fired my job at the beginning of this year, in January of this year, basically fired my job. January 8th was Freedom Day for me. And literally since then, we've doubled our income and grown it from there. So we know that this business is impactful. We've seen so many lives get changed. And so for you, it might be different words in here. It might be security, it might be travel. I'm not talking about bars and fences. And so I'm talking about security, financial security. That's the number one need for women overall in general, is just the word security. Better health. I mean, how much of us, you could have a lot of wealth, but if you don't have your health, you'll spend all your wealth to get back to health, right? And the other thing is, we talk about less debt, but how about zero debt? And that's where we're going to talk about some different things like that. So again, Gary already went through a couple slides that we went over and talked about the momentum rank. But again, Steve and Gina Merritt are the ones that took this business and have taken it to the next level. 2 years ago, they got involved and literally have set every record the company's ever seen. They got over 250,000 people on their team, but we're just getting started. I mean, we barely scratched the scratch so far. But as the number one company and number one team in the world, I guess the blue line is the team compared to the green line being the sales. So the team itself, the team is building those people up. So how we make the money is very, very simple. It really, really is. I'm going to cover just a couple main things, and there's a whole thing on the website that actually goes over, how the money's made and everything else, very, very specific details. But the main thing is we set up teams of people. And it's set up as a network, and I was excited about that because I've been doing work in developing networks for years, and so I've been part of other business type networks, and we're part of other product networks and stuff like that, but never seen anything like this. And this is called what they call a binary. And a binary, I never heard of it. I mean, I heard it, but I didn't understand it exactly. I heard it was kind of like inferior to this and that. And I just think that people are not informed, because it is the best compensation plan we've ever seen. So what happens is that when you get started as a brand partner. I always tell people, do you want to pay retail or do you want to pay wholesale? I've never heard anybody say I want to pay retail. Everybody's like, can I get the wholesale price? Yeah. And I said, would you like the opportunity to get the product for free? And mass majority of people say, well, yeah, how does that work? And I've had some people that even say, well, I don't want to build a business. I don't do anything else. I'm like, no, I'm not asking you to do that. Are you interested in getting the product for free by just referring people? We have a referral program. People go, oh, that's good too. So again, what happens is that you get started with a brand partner. Now you develop a right team and a left team. So when someone else says, yeah, I want this product, they get registered. Have 4 people in your team. You actually can develop to the point where you become a manager. And as a manager, you can actually make up to $1,500 a week. Not bad, right? I mean, you understand, not monthly, but weekly, right? So what happens though, that you'll find someone over here that's like Gary Burke, and someone over here that's like, the other Shamika that says, you know what, I want to be a manager. Now what happens is that you'll literally find people that say, this is $100 a week. And it keeps on going up and up and up to the point you make up to $25,000 a week. Now it's limited there, but that's not a bad limit. That's $1.3 million a year. So as you go up the different scales, you basically can start making more and more money, making more and more money. And so literally as of a little over a week ago, my wife and I hit the highest rank within the company, and our business it's taken off like crazy. We now got a business in 27 countries around the world, and we're about to open up Mexico in a big way, right, Gerardo? So Piquito, and he goes, that is the most gringo way of saying I don't speak Spanish in the world. Even Carlos is on here going, oh, that's just bad. So anyway, but the big part to this again is as you start going forward, I tell people, how would you like the idea of making $1,000 a week? Now again, this is where it starts as a senior director. That's if you have a director on the right and director on the left. If you don't understand this exactly, but what is that you can make up to basically starts at about $1,000 a week. We got people right now say by the end of this year, by January 1st, I want to be a senior director. And we're going to help other people do that. And we're going to be helping a lot more people do that, which is very, very cool. And then people say, well, how to make a six-figure income? This is a good six-figure. This is a multiple six-figure. This is a multiple, and even a seven-figure details. But it really depends upon you. We cannot guarantee anything. We can only tell you it's based upon your own efforts. And next one is the matching bonus. You want to talk about the matching bonus?
Yes. So this is absolutely amazing because it's unlimited. Okay, the first one we showed you is maxed out at $25,000 a week.
Not bad.
Okay, so if you're making 25,000, you really you're set kind of. But matching bonus is unlimited, and we know personally people who are making over $100,000 a week. But the matching bonus I love is because it's really not dependent on our own efforts. Everything we're doing really is dependent on team efforts. That is why we're all about community and people, loving people and showing them this way. And I love what Yolandi said. She said, this is a business born for such a time as this. In all honesty, you know what? If people see this and they don't get involved, I don't know, they're missing something.
Yeah.
But quickly to go through the matching bonus. So the company is going to pay you off of what your first generation, second generation, third generation do. So like Austin, if Austin Austin is his first generation and he makes $1,000 a week on his binary. So Gary would make 25% of that. That's $250. That's first generation. Now you've got second generation, Veronica, who's underneath Austin. If Veronica makes $1,000 a week, Gary will get 20% of that, and that's $200 for that week. And Grant makes $1,000 that week. No matter how far down that leg your first, second, and third generation are, you are making 25%, 20%, and 20%. That really is a lot of money, and this is where people are making big money.
Yeah. Pretty much unlimited. And so I use an example I tell people all the time. My goal is to help Brendan. Once again, we personally want to help Gary get $25,000. We want because we 20%. We want to help Austin, and so on and so forth. It just goes on and on. But that's the part you understand. It really is. And when you start understanding the numbers, it's huge. And there's some upfront money. There's some ways to make some money. There's incentive trips, and we could go on and on. But people say, okay, how do I get started? I mean, this is exactly what Gary said. He goes, here's my credit card. How do I get started? And that's what $50 for a 30-day supply. But we don't have people do that. I always tell people, you want to pay retail or you get wholesale? Maybe it's like get wholesale. So wholesale is basically 3 different packages that we recommend. The different packages, the core is really something that says for someone who goes, you know what? I just want to try this product. I'm going to see if this works, if it's something I want to try for myself, and I think this might be good for me and my family. I may not be interested in the business. I might want to do the business later, but I just want to see if this works for me. Great. We can start you with that. You get it now basically under $100 a sleeve, so about $95 a sleeve. And so by doing that, which is great, is that you actually get a 30-day supply for you, a 30-day supply for your spouse, or a 90-day supply for just yourself, which is fantastic. Now, people who say, I like that idea of income, I like that kind of the numbers you were talking about, then you want to be at least advanced or premium. The advanced, you get actually 6 sleeves. People go, well, why do I need 6 sleeves? It's called having it available. And literally for us, we got the premium, we got the biggest pack because we said we wanted to get this to as many people as we could. Not because like Gary just handing them out. We did a little bit of that mainly for family, which once again, you want to help some people out. But what happened is that Steve and Gina Merritt said to us, hey, what we recommend, and I'm always all ears, that they actually have made a lot of money previously becoming over $65 million previous to coming to Lifeway if they know how to build huge teams. And they said, what we recommend, we're like, yeah, what do you recommend? They said, what we recommend is getting someone registered, but say, by the way, if you get registered today, If you're local to us, we will lend you a sleeve so you can start today. You want to start today using the product, right? People are like, oh yeah, that's right. And instead of waiting 3, 4, 5, 6 days to get the product, now what happens is that when yours comes in within the next 5, 6, 7 days, whatever, just give us one of the new sleeves back. So we just start exchanging back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And literally within 2.5 weeks, we made our money back. Our first month, we made almost $3,000, and we didn't even know what we were doing. We were just sharing it with people. We didn't even understand the whole process of the house. Now we're helping people do the same thing we did within the first, second week. I mean, it's amazing what happens when you understand that. But you got to pick what's best for you. But then what we do is get everybody set up on what's called the monthly subscription. And that's the big thing for us. Because again, we know people that we always tell people you want to do at least a 90-day run, bare minimum. And then you hear the doctor said that right now. Dr. Jude said, he goes, I would recommend a 6-month run minimum. The rule of thumb is for every decade that you've been alive, 54 like me, you should be on 5 to 6 months of this before you can really evaluate, is this really working for me? Now, I know something in 3 days. The first month, I probably had 10 different things that I noticed, but everybody's different. Everybody is different. So you got to understand that some people it takes 3 weeks, some people it takes 3 months. Some people, it takes a while before their body because they got a lot of things going on. Just like when Shamika was talking about the AFib, if you got a problem with your heart or some problems with your mind, it's probably the stem cells are going to go there first. Why? Because it's a priority compared to your shoulder. The heart's a kind of priority. So again, you got to give it time just like anything else. But we basically tell people all the time, say, hey, if you're someone that says, hey, I call it 3, 2, 1 launch. If you say, hey, I'm just interested in, let's say a 3 would be someone who says, not for me. I'm gonna be interested. It's very rare, but if 3 people say I'm not interested, that's fine. Just let us know you're 3. If you're 2, I just want to try the product. You start up as a core, you just try the product. Great, I just want to start using the product. And the 1 is like launch. I want to get launched. You give me that, and they get advanced in the premium one, and we get you launched. So what's great about this business is that it upgrades to the next levels. But everybody has a 30-day money back guarantee. 0 risk. Now think about that from a business standpoint. Imagine starting a McDonald's franchise and you have a 30-day money back guarantee. I just invested millions of dollars, going to Hamburger U and everything else, and 30 days like, maybe I didn't do the right move. I don't think it was very smart, and you get your money back. That's not normal for business. So they do offer that, which is cool. So again, you want to talk about the
so we have tools that are given to us. We don't need to go and invest in a website for ourselves. None of that. It's all given to us. So these 2 websites, if you're taking notes, please write it down. Thisisit.info.com. That is what we share with everybody. When we speak to, no matter whether it's a doctor or a ditch digger, we share thisitit.info.com because that has everything. It has case studies, it has testimonies, it has everything that you need, all the information about the product. When you make a decision that you want to be partnered with us, we share, this is a team with you, because that is like your textbook. Like if you go to medical school or law school, you're going to get a lot of textbooks, that's going to help you to get through, and to get your degree at the end of the 7 or whatever years you're studying. So take thisisateam.com, because that gives you A to Z of what we do to grow this business.
Yep.
And honestly, that is where it all starts.
Absolutely.
Those 2 websites is where it all starts. So I would take, for those of you who been around for a few months, if you have not looked at the info there, take some time.
Yep.
Every day to take a look at what you'll find on these websites.
Yeah, and so we have a success university. We have called the Pro System. I'm not going to take a lot of time on this, but we call it a 3-3-1. Are you willing to talk to 3 people a day? Expose this to 3 people a day. Are you willing to follow up 3 people a day and then get someone on an opportunity Zoom like this? And that's really what it is. And that's the part we never know who knows who. Now you could do a 5-5-2. You could do a 10-10-4. Whatever you want to do. It's whatever you want, how you want to grow. But we say a minimum of 3 people a day. And it's like, if you understand that people are busy, got a lot of stuff going on, could you just talk to 3 people a day and we teach you how to do that?
It is all about consistency. And I believe Gary mentioned being consistent. A few of you today mentioned being consistent. Yeah. So it is all about consistency. So whatever your number, whether it's 331 or 551 or 552, be consistent.
Yep. And the key to this also is we got Facebook groups, which is great. You can subscribe to that. The other part is, once again, they get the YouTube channel. I've got a YouTube channel I set up specifically just because of all the testimonials. Now we're recording these on YouTube, which is good because it saves me time of uploading it to YouTube. Finally figured that part out. And again, there's different launch meetings. So we even have different ones that are going on even today here in the United States, 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. tonight as far as EST. So again, for people on the West Coast of the United States or in other areas, like, once again, they got Tuesday trainings. That's once again out of the UK. Sydney is also another one they have. Wednesday is once again 8 o'clock. Friday 12 o'clock. If you notice, they got launch Zoom for Spanish every Thursday at 8 p.m. They have a meeting they do in Spanish. And again, they have a team teachings they do every Saturday. This is amazing. So this is something that you don't want to miss. I'm going to recommend, if you didn't see last Saturday's, go onto the Zoom and literally look on last Saturday's training. It was absolutely phenomenal. The gentleman that shared was amazing, and once again, a very successful multimillionaire already. So once again, and then the team Spanish training they do every third Saturday of every month. So we have also this. So even today, we got Jan Ederhold, who's basically an executive director in the business, third highest rank in the business. She's doing the meeting tonight at 8 o'clock and again at 10 o'clock. And again, we've got a book of the month that we do. This is a book of this month. Once again, it's John Maxwell's 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. Great book. Fantastic. Now this weekend, we're going to be away. A lot of people are going to be away at the convention. The corporate does this once a year for this convention. It's the 20th year anniversary convention they're doing in Dallas, Texas. But on Sunday, free of charge. People who want to drive to Dallas or want to in the area, I got people that are flying in just for the Sunday thing alone, just to be there in person. It's limited to 1,000 people. Steve and Gina Merritt are doing a teaching called Unleashed, and they're going to be live streaming it also on the YouTube channel. And it's from 8:30 Central Time, which is 9:30 Eastern Time.
So Europe and South Africa, you can get on live and watch the Unleashed happening. Honestly, there's going to be so many great teachers. You do not want to miss this.
Absolutely. And so again, from 8:30 to 3, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. We're going to be there in person. Of course, they got the Rise Up convention that's coming up actually at the beginning of the year. That's basically virtual. We're going to be in person. They only invited 450 people. And we have some people on our team that Steve and Gina were so excited about us hitting the highest rank. They said, hey, anyone else you want to bring? So we opened up to the team. We got a bunch of people going. So again, they're going to be capped out probably in the next couple of days. So if you have interest in going, let us know if you want to be there in person in Vegas. We're going to be at Eric Worre Studios. If you know anything about Eric, he understands this industry very, very well. And so it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. So they got early bird pricing. So for the virtual convention at $155, and you want to have group meetings and get people together. So once again, we tell people, if you're serious about your dreams, this is it. This is it. I'm telling you right now, if you have aches, pains, issues, all kinds of different stuff that are going on, this is it. I mean, it's amazing. So we tell people we're hope dealers, not dope dealers, because there's a hope for your future. So we say, get started on X39 today. So when you get done, you're going to want to reach to the person who talk to you about this and say, I'm either 3, 2, or 1. Just let them know. We're not mind readers, and we're going to ask you the question. So are you 3, 2, or 1? And if you say you're 1, we're going to get launched. If you say 2, we're going to help you at least get the product. If you're 3, we'll leave you alone. Great. If you know other people that may be interested, let us know that as well. But I guarantee you, there's a lot of 1s that are on this meeting already, because it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. And so those of you who have guests on here, just make sure you get back with them, because what is the system? Follow up.
Yep.
Follow up, invite.
Up in just a couple minutes. We had a couple other quick things that we did want to share, and I got to go back to my thing because I wanted to make sure that I'm at where I'm at. Because normally, and we did a training last night. We have a team training we do on Sunday night. For those of you in Europe and South Africa, we sent you the link to that, so hopefully you get a chance to watch it. But I did want to cover just a couple quick little things that are going to help out. And so one of the things that we're trying to do is make sure people understand that if they want to get to the next level, we are doing what they call next level trainings. So this is something that when we were doing this right after this meeting here, for people, we said a specific Zoom. For people who said, yes, I want to do that. If you didn't get that Zoom and you say, I want to be a part of that, but those are people, seriously, this is going to be people who want to get to the next level and really want to grow. And then we can share that with you so you can get on. And again, this will be recorded just for those people. It will not be shared on my YouTube channel.
Yeah,
I'm just telling you that right now.
This is for those who chose them. They chose themselves.
Yep.
They said, I choose to get to the next level.
Yep.
So we've heard from a number of you. So that's on a separate link. You've received the link. And if you said, I didn't hear about this, I want to be part of that, please just message me and we will definitely get the link. Or
message the person who invited you and or the person that's on your team, and then basically we can do that for you. So it's just October 13th, but obviously we did, once again, that recording we did yesterday talking more about this. But again, we're going to be doing separate meetings, for people on this. And again, this is something that our pastor said at the beginning of this year, that 2024 is going to be the year of the fulfillment of the promises of God to you personally. And we've seen that. We've been on 4 incentive trips over this year. We're going on a 5th one actually to Punta Cana for free. These are free trips that we've actually qualified for. So if you like the idea of free travels with it, this is all for you. So when I was talking to Gerardo, we've actually been to Mexico several times on free trips. We were in Puerto Vallarta. We were actually in Cancun, and now we're going to be in oh my gosh, Dominican Republic, which is pretty amazing. So again, the goal is that we want to help people grow. This is from the first event they ever did actually in August of 2023. We just had another one in July of this year that was in Orlando. It blew this one out of the water. Absolutely phenomenal. So the best thing we want to do is if you say, I want to get to that first level of manager, or I want to get director, for those serious about getting to senior director and above by the end of this year, that's what these calls are for. We're going to help you get that done. Did you have anything else you wanted to share? Otherwise, we're going to
just want to say thank you to everyone for being on, and thank you so much, Gary. You did an amazing job and awesome leadership, Yes. And we're so grateful to God, and we want to empower all of you. The way you rise up is by being tied in. Greg and I, we didn't have anybody telling us what to do. Entrepreneurship is not about that. We don't tell you, you choose to. It's a decision you make for yourself. And you will see the growth, and you will rise up, and you will start leading your team. The one thing I wanted to say about Gary is from the start, he actually took leadership ownership of his team. And he started doing team meetings, and every single one of you, those of you who've been around for a while, if you want to do a presentation for your team, you can go download it. This is team.com. Find the presentation, and it's just you press and play. You just keep going through the slides. Read it, and it's so simple. But thank you to everyone, and thank you to Gary, Austin, and the team, and Dr. Jude and Shamika. You guys did great, and to Kira for sharing. We really appreciate every single one of you.
I think we got like 5 or 6 countries represented here, so it's pretty cool what's going on. So Gary, did you want to say anything else before we let everybody go? I don't know if you want to say goodbye. Again, thank you so much for sharing.
I just want to say thank you again, Greg and Minna. You guys have been awesome. And for you that don't know, Greg and Minna were in the direct path of Hurricane Milton. And when they got power back, you would think that nothing happened. They jumped back in and just started as if nothing ever happened. So we thank God for your safety. We thank God that you're all okay. And we are so appreciative of your leadership as well. And one last thing, I want to say happy birthday to my sister. Happy birthday, Shamika. Thank you, Greg, and I appreciate it.
Happy birthday, Shamika. That's awesome. So
Great
happy
testimony.
birthday. Great testimony. Yes. Once again, thank you so much, everybody. So again, we'll be jumping on the other meeting in a minute. So if you didn't get that link and you say, I want to be part of this, but this is for people who are serious. So we're not going to be talking like light. We're going to be talking about what it takes to really grow to the next level. For those of you who say, I want to make it $1,000 a week on up, we're going to help you get it done. So God bless you. Have an amazing day. Look forward to talking to everybody soon. Once again, thank you, Gary. You are awesome. So God bless you. Have an amazing day.